back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic Governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Fulner Eth.
My friends, it's been too long.
Fulner, we assume you've heard from Fenoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently, we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
Your reputation in the diplomatic service is secure. Now, about our request.
You kept your promise. The Noth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Fulner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
I don't understand. You helped him.
We're practical people, and we take the tools we're given. But those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Congratulations, Vector. You might get your alliance after all.
We're a long way from that, but we can hope. We thank you, Agent. As a friend, and as Dawn Herald, we've begun something good.
How can I help you, Ensign?
Personal question for you, sir, if you don't mind my asking. When you have to win a man's affections over the course of a mission, does it bother you?
Getting close to our targets is one of the perks of this job.
You're a cad, sir. Don't mistake me, I've been involved with plenty of the wrong men, but going in there was always the chance they'd work out. I don't know how I'd make that connection if I knew it wouldn't last. Or if I had someone waiting back home.
Romance is an option, but so is negotiation. So is blackmail. Don't feel obligated.
I appreciate that, sir. It's all just a bit muddled. At least I have my parents as an example. Happily married cipher agents, so far as I ever knew.
I didn't know your family had such a history with the work.
Well, somewhat, anyway. Thank you for your honesty, sir. You won't regret these sessions.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately. Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
Tell me, do you take joy in being obnoxious?
I haven't any idea what you mean. Now, regarding my search, I do have some small amount of news. I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
What do you mean, weaponized humans? What's the Science Bureau doing?
Military research is the Bureau's purpose. Making humans stronger, faster, is one approach. Which reminds me, I'd like your permission to run some tests on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
If it won't cause harm, I don't have any objections.
Wonderful. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised.
This is Cypher 9 to headquarters. Stand by for databank upload.
Watcher 3 here, standing by.
I have no loyalty to my former masters, and I will transmit my information, but the result will not save you. They planted me in Belsavis as a guardian, not as a collector of their secrets.
The man in the Kulto tank said your databanks would lead us to the enemy. Maybe you don't realize what you have.
I'm receiving, sir. The data formatting is unusual, but I found a log. Visitations to the Mega Security Ward, technology inventories. Not much on its own, but it could be a way to verify or disprove anything else we've learned.
Cypher, something hit us from the docking bay.
I shall observe your investigation with interest.
I am Pashon Cortess, scion of House Cortess and heir to Baron Payer, Sword of the Castle Lands of Alderaan.
Pashon?
I seek vengeance. You are responsible for my house's ruin. You, who pretended to be our ally.
I've been to Alderaan, but I never knew a Pashon Cortess.
No, I was away when you infiltrated my father's circle. Perhaps that saved my life.
Pashon, we knew your house. What happened was a tragedy, but your mother betrayed the Empire. Your father took responsibility.
I won't hear about noble obligation from a joiner. You almost got away, but a friend told me how to find you. Now you die. Your crimes are many, and your victims are gathering. We know your name, and we will come.
Isn't that sweet?
Sir, Scanner's picked up blaster fire. Is everything all right?
You let an assassin simply walk on board?
He had authorization from House SWTOR. Apparently, we should have checked more closely.
Shallow breathing.
Anything in particular you want done with him?
Dispose of him.
Yes, sir. Clean this up and move out.
The best spy I ever knew lost his anonymity at his daughter's wedding. A holocam caught him by accident. He was dead a week later. We counted 42 suspects. We'd better find your enemies soon.
Cypher. Station security reported what happened. The conspirators know who you are. They must have your full record. And they're recruiting your enemies.
If my identity goes public, I'll be hunted through half the galaxy.
I know. Oh, hold on. Transferring you to Keeper.
Apologies for the interruption, but we have a new lead. Watchers 6, 7, and 9 have been searching HoloNet records for conspirator activity. 3 billion lines of communication routing sequences and credit transfer verifications. They found traces of a holoconference held 6 months ago between Hunter and parties unknown.
Could he have been reporting to his superiors?
That is my hope. Unfortunately, this is only a record of the call, not the call itself. Even the Empire can't store every bit of data that crosses the HoloNet. A HoloNet archive does exist, however. The Tytun rings, a massive self-maintaining repository of all galactic communications.
Storage, the technology, the expense of something like that.
About a century ago, an entrepreneur cyberformed the Titan 4 moon into an enormous databank designed to listen and record. It was operated by droids and protected by mercenary contract. Like all archives, it ran out of space. Thus, the Titan rings, a fleet of wrecked starships salvaged for the purpose of data storage. They orbit the moon, still recording, still protected by the mercenaries.
Setting course for the Titan rings now.
The conspirators' recording is located in Archive Node 803A, a derelict Imperial transport ruined in the Battle of Druckenwell. Watchers 6, 7, and 9 will guide you once you're aboard. I want that conference recording, Cypher. Keep it out.
completed analysis of my restraining codes. Although I cannot leave or cause you direct harm, I'm under no obligation to obey your commands.
In other words, you can't kill me, but I have to watch my back.
That is correct. I intend to proceed with my heuristic directive of self-improvement and intelligence upgrades. Cooperate willingly, and I may spare you pain when I am free.
You expect me to let you become more dangerous?
Personal evolution is my primary purpose. This self-iteration is number 973, and there will be more. Do not anger me unnecessarily.
I admit, I'd like to see what happens when you learn.
Hope for the privilege. Perhaps you will earn it.
What's going on, Ensign?
Sir, Dr. Lokin's been filling in the gaps in my education. He has quite a few stories. Here's what puzzles me. I've always been taught to respect the chain of command, and yet you... How does anyone control a field agent?
You're really perturbed by this. Are you that used to pure obedience?
Yes, I am. And I don't think that's a bad thing. The Empire expects its operatives to make command decisions from the front line. That doesn't work.
Eventually, you stop relying on your handbook and you put the good of the Empire first.
I was hoping for something more concrete. Maybe a numbered list? I don't want to do wrong, sir. My father ignored an edict from the Sith, and instead of facing his punishment, he ran. I won't repeat his mistake. Accidentally.
Have a little faith in yourself. If the time comes, you'll make the right call.
It's nice to hear you say that, sir. I'll stop troubling you about this. Back to the job, then.
This is Watcher 6 to Cipher 9. You have accessed Node 803A of the Tytun Ring's HoloNet archive. Transmitting mission parameters.
This is Watcher 7. Download data fragments from assigned terminals so we may decrypt and reconstruct the conspirator communication.
This is Watcher 9. You have authorization to terminate anyone who interferes. It is our privilege to work with you.
Accessing first data fragment. Applying preliminary decryption algorithm.
Got the call, but make it quick. I don't want to be missed.
93% likelihood speaker is designate Hunter.
Proceed with the operation, Cipher 9. We will continue reconstruction attempts. Accessing second data fragment. Modifying decryption algorithm.
This will, of course, be my final appearance at these gatherings, but the galaxy I leave behind.
No voice print identification available. Reconstruction incomplete.
Accessing third data fragment. Attempting playback.
My sympathies. With the old man lost, the next enforcer will be difficult to train.
Experiencing data corruption. We will hope the last fragment provides redundancy.
Accessing fourth data fragment. Splicing now.
I am here. All is ready.
This is Keeper. Cypher, get out of there. Reinforcements are on the way, and there's nothing more you can do.
On my way back to the ship.
The Watchers will try to reconstruct the holoconference back at headquarters. Come to Drum and Cars as soon as possible, and we'll figure out our next move. Keeper out.
Utilize fractal thought pattern 27. Reanalyze.
Come in. They're reconstructing the Conspirators holoconference now.
Genetic engineering plays havoc with your people's brains, doesn't it?
If it didn't have an effect, it wouldn't be worth the bother. Preliminary analysis bears out our theory. The call was initiated by Hunter, somewhere in the Bremer sector 6 months ago. The recording you pulled is intact, but... Watcher 9?
Splicing and decryption complete.
Rules of the Chorus Covenant. I call this meeting to order.
Spare us the corporate posture and report.
Since you're in a hurry. Senator Varala and Representative Shuru are predictable as always.
And Commodore?
All taken care of. What about you? Those earnest Padawans keeping you up at night?
Different participants on different data streams. Processing.
There's Hunter. What about the others?
I don't know.
Domain is unsettled, as we expected. I must again raise the concern. Do we overplay our hand?
There is the chance it will spin out of control. Darth Angral, Darth Barris, now the children are awakening.
For each, there is a Republic counterbalance.
We're letting loose the reins, but we're not taking off their blinders. Sit back and enjoy the spectacle.
Don't tell me we're missing whole sections.
To bicker. Each of us agreed to the timetable. Each of us reports success in our own sphere.
Ambition must never be our master. Patience serves our noble cause best. But if our enforcer approves...
I do, I swear.
Then we move forward to Armageddon.
Keeper, the War Council needs you. Sir?
We have a breach. No one leaves, understood?
Yes, sir. Security and medical help is on the way.
What's our status?
Keeper and the others are on life support. Fixers theorized the transmission had a hidden overlay. A code or image only a genetically enhanced mind could recognize. Designed to overwhelm and shut down the brain.
They knew it would take an enhanced mind to find the data. This was insurance against that possibility.
Losing this many analysts, forget about Keeper. It's going to be a blow to the war. I'll support you where I can, but right now I've got a few dozen field agents without handlers. Your operation.
Take care of your people, Watcher 3. I'll proceed on my own.
While you were on Belsavis, Keeper was compiling leads on the planet Voss. If you want to head there, I'll see what I can pull up. I've apprised the Minister of Intelligence. If he needs to contact you, he knows how.
Hard not to admire their security. I'd very much like to meet these people.